they'll lynch you. But he did, and he laughs.
Yes, everybody, Ross, and I always pause until it turns up. Yes, Ross, everybody's safe and well. If you're new around here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a bloody good subscribe. Hope you are all well. Happy Friday, another week. Congratulations, another week. Well done. Well done, everyone. Well done. And we've only got a couple of days until our next bloody game. Crystal Palace at home, London Stadium, 2 o'clock kickoff, I think, should be. I need to check that, make sure I don't turn up 2 hours early, again, as always. But, yeah, busy week for everyone. We got, obviously, we'll talk about yesterday's game in a bit more detail, which is great. We've got the Crystal Palace game. We've got Blackburn on Wednesday in the Carabao Cup at home as well. And we finish off the first half of the season, first third and a bit of the season at home against Leicester next Saturday. And that's it. And that's it until Boxing Day. Radio Rental on it. Absolutely Radio Rental. Hope you're all safe and well. Let's see, we've got the chat. Ludders in the chat nice and early. Hope you're all Ludders. Matt's in the chat. James in the chat. Ralph is in the chat. Awesome game last night. Loved it. Certainly did. Andy still buzzing from last night and the results. Indeed, me too. Simon's here. Hi, DJ Russ. Boom. We are going to batter Palace, I think, says Matt. Possibly. And I think actually we're going to do, like tonight, will be the Moyes press conference for the Palace game, which I think will be quite interesting. I'm sure there's going to be questions about Fabianski because of Ariola's inclusion in the starting lineup yesterday, and I'm sure there's going to be questions about Paqueta and Cornet as well. So I think it's going to be quite an interesting, press conference. So make sure you check that out. Also today last night we put up John T. Coleman from Football London. He sent us a little video review of the game. We also put up a new thing we're starting to do with the West Ham supporters, the official West Ham Supporters Club, called Playing Away with the Supporters Club. And basically it's a compilation. They take videos and pictures and all clips of their away days, and we put them together in a little video and give it to you guys in 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes, just to give you a feeling of what it was like. And the guys there, Andy and Paul, do a great job there. So make sure you check that out. It was good fun. It's a funny one. It's a funny one because everyone's drinking and singing all the chants, and there's a funny thing on the plane, and they were singing Bubbles, and there's a woman who's clearly not going to the game. She's in the middle of this. It's very good. What a night for the youngsters. The future's looking good, it is. And that's the same feeling we came out of the Dinamo Zagreb game last year, but we didn't win that game. We won this one. Good afternoon, Pete. Hope you're well. I reckon Moyes will use Ashby and Scars and Con in the Cups and promote senior team end of season. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Although Ashby didn't get a starting position, didn't he? He came on. I thought he played very well when he came on. Matt's in the chat. Hope you're also. We'll have the stat attack. We'll have a stat attack for the Crystal Palace game. Just make sure Matt's going to do it. Alan, hope you're well. And also tonight, we've got Irish Tommy. Late show. And we'll have Holly's show as well. Oh my God. Scars was magic last night. Those balls into the box. Scammy would have scored at least a hat-trick. No disrespect to Divin. No, totally agree. Disappointed Hickey didn't get start. We all know we're going to go behind against Palace when we come out the traps in our usual slow start. Hornchurch is bathed in sunshine, not a cloud in the sky. Nice winter sun. Anyone going to the E13 event tonight, the Strikers event with Crossy and Brian Deere and Marlon and Cotty and Morley? I'll be there, so make sure you say hello. No reading glasses, so excuse my language. It's all pear-shaped. Palace will be a tough game. The attacking players are all fit, indeed. What we got? Scars played like a 20-year-old, but he only looked about 12. Palace are no mugs. We have no right to 3 points. It's going to be a tough game. I think we've got 3 very tough games. I actually think the Blackburn games could have probably been the toughest of the 3 because Blackburn are flying at the moment, and whereas the other 2 are sort of Palace are stuttering, and so are Leicester. I think Blackburn are going to be flying, and we've got to be on our best if we want to qualify for the next one. Anyway, as what should we do first? Let's just we touched on this yesterday, and I thought I'd just go over old ground. Not rehash, but sort of reiterate what's going to happen now. Because obviously now, that was our last Europa Conference League game until March, because we won the group. So in terms of what happens, we have a group winner. It's very similar to last year as well. Hey, look, there she is. She must have just woken up. I've seen the pictures of her absolutely twatted in Budapest. Anyway, so what happens is, we have group winners. So from every group, there's a group winner and a second place or a playoff contender, and so that's from each of the conference groups. And then from the Europa League, in the same way last year, we had people dropping in from the Champions League into the Europa League. It's the same thing. We have people from the Europa League who finished first. I know, and you're still pissed. I know you're still pissed. And they'll have people going in. So we'll have the third place from the Europa League groups going to the conference playoffs. So basically, this is where we're up to now. So let me take out the thing quickly. So this is how all the groups finished yesterday. So group winners: Istanbul, us, Villarreal, Nice, AZ Alkmaar, Duz Gardens, Sivasspor, and Slovan Bratislava. And then you've got all the Group A playoff or second placers, basically: Fiorentina, Anderlecht, Lech Poznan, Partizan Belgrade, Dnipro 1, Ghent, FCR Cluj, and Basel. So. And these are the guys who dropped in from the Europa League. So from Group A, Bodo. From Group B, AEK Lanka. Then Ludogorets, Sporting Praga. We've had Sheriff. Lazio. It was almost going to be Lazio and Roma, but in Group C. But Roma got a late winner in their game against Ludogorets to finish second in the group. Quebec, and from Azerbaijan. And Trabzonspor from Turkey. Okay, so in terms of how it works, you won't need to worry about anything really until the 24th of February. 24th of February, we find out who we're playing in the next 16. The draw for the playoffs, I think, is on Monday or Tuesday next week. So it'd be interesting to have a look at that, but it doesn't really affect us yet. But it could affect us in terms of who we're going to be potentially going to be drawn against. So we're one of 8 teams who face the 8 winners of the knockout rounds, with the first leg played on the 9th of March and the second leg played on the 16th of March. So this is how it works out. So we've got the group winners. So, as I said, the next round is, the best way to think of it is, we go in at the last 16. So actually we're in the last, so currently the next stage is the last 32. So everyone left the right hand side of this green line will be playing. And they'll be playing in terms of, I wonder if it's easier for me to show. Let me get a bit bigger. Can I get a bit smaller? Yeah, there we go. So, for example, Fiorentina, they'll be drawn against one of the people in the third column. So I Anderlecht. Sorry. So, for example, Ghent will not be drawn against Dynamo Pro. Ghent will be drawn against someone like Lazio. Dynamo Pro will be drawn against someone like Sheriff, for example. So that could even be the draw. Fiorentina could play Bodo, Anderlecht could play AEK, that type of thing. I've put Fiorentina and Lazio in green, and also put the Turkish sides in team, because in the playoffs and also in the round we go into, the last 16, teams from the same federation can't play each other. So Fiorentina will not play Lazio. If Trabzonspor get through to the knockout stages, get through to the last 16, they won't be drawn against Istanbul or Sivasspor. So we'll have a 1 in 6 chance, basically, of being drawn against Trabzonspor rather than necessarily 1 in 8. Hopefully that is clear as mud. And everyone. So that's how it all works. Also, I believe, similar to last time, because we're a seeded team, I think we play our first leg of the last 16 away and the second leg at home. Very similar to what we did last year with the Sevilla game. Seeded teams play second. There we go. See, so there we go. We know we're going to be playing our second team. So it'll be the 16th of March will be the second game. No teams, everyone, all the great. Yeah, we are. That's why we're the history boys. That's why we're the history boys. That's why, we are the first team ever to have won all their group stages in the Europa Conference. But still. What was the atmosphere like inside? Yeah, good. Let us know, Happy Hammer, how the atmosphere was. Shame Anderlecht went through after they performed. Indeed, me too. Rich, hope you're well, my friend. Like War and Peace when it comes to these draws. It is. Much better in the old days, when it was total knockout football. We could play again as we battered them before. Did we play? Was it Genk or Ghent? I can't remember who played last time. It was Mikey's side, wasn't it? Crystal, Russ, Crystal. Good. Simples. So all we got to look at is the left-hand side and the two columns on the right-hand side of that green line. That's the last 16. And then we'll go in playing the first leg away. So we'll be drawn away to someone like Anderlecht, for example. We could be playing Anderlecht home and away in the next leg. Or Sheriff, or Braga, or Basel, or Ghent, or any of those 16 teams potentially. So we have a 1 in 16 chance of getting those. Simple. Genk, yeah. So I thought we didn't play Ghent, play Genk. But yes, they're from Belgium. So you look at those sides, you look at the teams we're playing. There's, in terms of the next round, you've got the likes of it's obviously Italian teams. We've got Norwegian, Belgium, Polish, Serbian, Ukrainian. I didn't put the Belgium sides in, Anderlecht and Genk, because they can't play each other in the next rounds. That's why I haven't put that in, because they'll be playing. Anderlecht will be playing one of the group winners, and so will Ghent if they got through. Romania, Switzerland, Cyprus, Bulgaria, Portugal, Moldova in terms of Sheriff. Azerbaijan. Some interesting places to go to there, so we'll keep an eye on that. Some teams doing very well. I think Lazio are doing very well. I think Ghent are doing well as well in their league. So, yeah, this is a cartoon compared to War and Peace, Peter, which was a good book to read. There we go. Recommendations from Neil Down Under. It's about 11 o'clock at night for him. Anyway, as we always do the night before, the day after the night before, we do the ratings. Quite interesting ratings. Obviously, we're quite an interesting lineup setup. A lot stronger than I think people predicted. Not you guys, though. Not the West Ham Network community. You went quite strong with your side. So, well done. Well done. No, Ghent, Belgium. UEFA draws are hilarious. How they make something simple takes forever. It makes sense, though. I understand that, but it's this other, it's quite convoluted, isn't it? It's like, you win, so you miss a group, you miss a round, but you can't play this person. Anyway, so obviously we came up with quite a strong side, a side which I think basically surprised a lot of us. I thought we didn't go so strong for our starting lineup. See a lot more kids, but we didn't. We started with two players making their first team debuts in Ollie Scars and Divin Mbawa, and we can spell it, unlike West Ham. Unfortunately, they had to reissue the team sheet because they spelled it wrong. And by the end, I think we had six under 21s on the pitch, which was absolutely fantastic. So as always, we put together all these, and what we do with the ratings is I give you my ratings, and then you basically disagree with them. That's the way it works in the chat. There's no points for no scores for half points, or it's 7, 6, 4. It's just the whole numbers. So let's start with Areola. Relatively easy day for him, considering he came on 4 days earlier. Came off the bench against Man United. Did we have to do V's? It's probably his easiest clean sheet probably all season, if not one of his easiest clean sheets in the whole of his career, probably. What I think is interesting about his inclusion in the starting lineup was, particularly with the likes of Heggie, particularly with the likes of Randolph in the squad. To me, that shows that Fabianski's all right for Palace. Because it would have been a risk. He could have taken a bang like Fabianski did, when he headed that ball and he jarred his knee when he went back down, didn't he, against Man United at heart, and he switched him at half time. That could easily happen. So there was a risk involved. So by taking that risk, to me, it seems that he's okay, but we'll see. 7, 6, 6, 6, a solid 7 from Neil. 10 or 1, had a deck chair. Yeah, fair play. Safe and simple game. 7, 7, 7, 7. I hope not 2 goal. I will always have 2 goal kickers on the bench. That's more as he's thinking it. 7 for Fons. Russie B also gave him a bum. 7. All right, let's talk about Soufal. Let's talk about Soufal. Obviously, we played a back through wing backs, and Vladimir played right wing back, much like he has been doing. I think he started quite poorly, in all honesty. I think the game didn't have a great first half. I think struggled, particularly when he had the ball, in my humble opinion. But like most, the second half his cross led to, he got an assist for Divin's goal, or the own goal. Taken off shortly after the Fornals' second, but a really good assist, some good contributions in the second half. First half was slightly below par, but I thought we did okay. 7-7, you can never have enough keepers. 7-7 tidy, okay. 7-7, okay in the end as a 6. Made a mistake, so a 6. Poor start, 6. I'd give him a 6 as Matt. 7 from Toby, 6 from Peter. Would have been a 6 poor half, but got an assist, so 7 says Michael. Sufal got a 7 as he got into supporting the youngsters. He certainly did. They all did, actually. It's a great interview that Ollie did with Ben Johnson. I think it was with BT Sport. Check it out. I think I've retweeted it on my Twitter. It's a lovely interview. Oh, it warms the cockles of your hearts up. If you're feeling a bit cold, that'll warm you up. Beautiful. How excited he was. It was just like the boyhood wonder of making your first team debut for for a side that you've been playing since you were 12. Amazing. Joe Collins gave him a 6. What did I give him? I gave him 6. Thought so. I couldn't remember. Let's move on and talk about Benny Boy Johnson playing in the back three of a right side of the back three. I think early on a little bit struggled a little bit defensively early on. Someone made a really good point about him. He might be a nerves thing, but it does take him a while to get into a game. He went from one extreme to the other. He struggled, and then he did a beautiful long pass over the top, which sent Fornals on his way to scoring the opening goal. Offside, but doesn't matter. Second half, more defending to do, as Fcsb did try something, but they didn't really do anything. Second half was a lot better, I thought. Quite competent game for Benny Boy, I reckon. 7-6, the young lad was beaming, and why not? Exactly, Sharky. It's a great interview. BJ is 7-7-6. 7, pretty comfortable and great ball for Pab's first goal. Yeah, it was offside. 8 from Matt. 6, his best performance have always been when he's played as left back. I would agree totally with that, Neil. Ben does hesitate sometimes, but that assist was brilliant. Jonah from Michael gets 7. Russie B gave him a 7. Some good scores today. Some good scores. Let's talk about the magician. The Moroccan magician. That's what I'm going to call him. I love him. 90 minutes. Great, and a big step forward, towards, recovery from obviously the pre-season ankle injuries. Second game, really, for West Ham. The best of the back three. Was the one to help West Ham get out of trouble. What I liked about him is there's sometimes where I think it was like on the byline, and he dropped his shoulder, beat the man, and then found a pass rather than just pumped it out. Brilliant player. He's going to be exceptional. We know his pace. We know he's got good strength. He's positionally very aware. Almost got a goal on the stroke of half time and heading obviously Fornals' corner. It was deflected, then cleared. Very close to crossing the line, I'd say. Particularly as there's no goal line technology, there's no VAR or goal line technology into the final. Brilliant block at the end to stop. I think it was Risto from a point blank range. He's an exceptional player, and honestly, I'd be surprised if we see him in the Premier League this side of Christmas. I know it's a ridiculous thing to say, but I think we've got 3 games left. I think it's a risk. I think it's part of his development. I think we could see him definitely playing on Wednesday against Blackburn. I think he won't play on Sunday, and then would Moyes play on a 2-game week? I don't know. Let's see what we got for scores. Ashby's better, other than Johnson, yeah. 8, very tidy. 7+. I didn't realise how good he is. Toby, I tell you what, you can see why we wanted him. We've wanted him for 2 years. The last but one transfer window, we were looking at him, and we got Zuma instead. And this year, we got his man finally. And he's going to transform honestly, and it seems silly to think how a defender will transform our side. But it's his range of passing. And the fact is, he passes, and I said it before, he passes it in front of people rather than at their feet, in front of them. So if they want the ball, they've got to fucking move forward. And that makes such a difference. Everyone's on the front foot then. Very comfy. Solid 8. 8 looks class. He does look good though. What a geezer. His passing is crisp and precise. 8 needs more time, but what a player. Won't start in the league until after. That's what I think, Peter. Because he'll be going to the. He could probably play midfield. No, don't want him. Don't want midfield. Different class was strolling. 2 ruined my 3-1 bet with that great tackle late on. 8. Not going to judge him until we play tougher opposition. Gamble responsibility indeed. He's like a young of Bonner. Total class. I don't know who is his best set. Would be Dawson. I think it would be Zuma. I think because then for me it's Agad on the left, Zuma on the right, Kira right back, and Cresswell, who statistically is the best left back in Europe at the moment. Left back. Total class and Fred. 8. Russie B also gave him an 8. Not my man of the match though. Ooh. Leave them wanting for more. Ogbonna. Captain Ogbonna. Almost got himself a rare goal. I was watching. He was in midfield most of the first half, wasn't he, really? And in the second half as well. He just kept on going forward. He went on this mazy run midway through the second half, which was amazing. And if it wasn't for a good shot from the saving the goalkeeper, it was a great goal. Didn't do much defensively wrong at all. Solid, showed really good passing, really good awareness. Looked like the experienced defender that he was. Do you know what I mean? Didn't trouble himself. I mean, the backline was hardly tested at all, to be honest, after sort of the early few scares. But they did what they needed to do, and they played with the opposition in front of him. I thought he was competent. 8, Oggy was in a nosebleed. Never seen him go forward. Indeed, it's like, remember when Diop used to do that, didn't he? Diop used to keep running and running, and that was quite nice to see Oggy enjoying himself. 7+, 8. Skippered last night, still quality, great influence around the kids. 7, and actually it's a good point, Oggy, I think, and Ben Johnson made a really good point. With so many senior players not going to the game, it's the likes of Oggy, it's the likes of Fornows, it's the likes of Ben Johnson, Areola, these guys almost coaching the youngsters through the game. 7, doing well in these conference games, but he won't. But he's very useful for these conference and cup games. That's his role this year, and then that's it. Then I think he's on a 1 year extension contract, isn't it? So I think that's it then. Bonner 8. If he had scored that goal, it would have been 9. But a great captain's game. Love Doggy's smile after the shot on goal. Love seeing him enjoying himself. It's nice to see everyone enjoying themselves. Really, it's one of those games where for a long time we've been so tense. It was almost like the shackles were off a little bit. 8, 7, 8. Great squad player now. Totally agree, Tobes. Russie B gave him a 6. 6? No, 7. 7. I gave him a 7. Ignore that. I gave him a 7. No. Oh. There we go. What an idiot. What an idiot I am. There's your surprise. What an idiot. Skulls. Let's talk about him. Became the 6th youngest player in West Ham history. Wow. What an accolade. 16, starting left wing back. Full debut. Obviously, there was no Crest. There was no Emerson. Thoroughly impressed with him. Good energy. Good crossing. Create good chances. Great chances for the likes of Divin as well. In the first half, he great crossing, and Divin got a toe into it, but it was pretty much point blank at the keeper. Teed up Fornows in a similar fashion. Pretty much everything Moyes would have asked him to do, he did. Really good attacking, really good crossing, and could have got a debut as well. I thought he was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. You can see why I've given him an 8, and he's my man in the match. What we got here? 9, 8, brilliant debut. It was 9, a 9, 7, but as a 16-year-old, a 9, 9. Poor racing management, very poor. Hopes he improves like Rice, possibly, yeah. As I said, the 6th youngest player ever to play for West Ham. Not bad at all. Solid 8. Why would want to leave? 8, 9. Got great big swinging balls, a young man. Incredible for 16-year-old. So impressive. He stole the magic hat. What crossing Macca would have had hatful tonight. Yeah, totally right. His first involvement, I'm thinking, oh my God, what a game maturity above his 16-year-old. Man of the match, 9 from Andy. Great game. And he looks about 12. Is he the youngest ever playing Europe? Oh, let me have a little butcher's hook. Andy, loving your questions. Where's my list? Where's my player debuts? Where's my lists? I've got a list here. I've all my stats. When people like this ask me questions, I see if I can deliver. Right, let's have a look. Where's youngest players? Oh, pardon me, Windy Pops. Right, come on. Where is it? Youngest debutants. So, I don't know when this is going to be though. Quite possibly. I mean, you got Reece Oxford. He's the youngest. Then he goes in at number 6, doesn't he? I think so. He's just slightly older than Chris Cohen, I think. So no, it wouldn't be. Because Reece Oxford made his debut for in the Europa qualifiers against FC Lusitans. So yeah. Good question. But no, because that's when Reece Oxford made his debut. And also Domingos Quina, he made his debut against NK Domzal as well, so that wouldn't have counted. And I don't think that's it. But he's the 3rd youngest. Well, I think he's the 3rd youngest. So there we go. Do love a clean sheet. Good question. It's soon. He's in. Yep. Brilliant. You have to go and watch it. 16. It's not like we know of. Has to be the youngest. No, he's not. He's the 3rd youngest player to play in Europe, based on my rough calculations. The youngest ever debutant was Reece Oxford. He's only like a little bit younger. He's only like a couple of 100 days or something like that. But he'll be 3rd after Reece Oxford, Domingos Quina, and then I believe it's Charlie. Ollie rather, not Charlie. So there we go. Good question, man. Thanks very much. Let's move on and let's talk about the next player, who is Lanzini, Manu Lanzini. A lot to like about his performance, I think, today or yesterday. Rotated with Downs in terms of positioning. Always looked creative. Obviously, he brought the experience to that forward line, which we didn't really have. So we needed someone like him, some experience. He should have scored, actually. I think he should have got himself a goal. Came close late on. He had a long shot saved. It was a good game for Lanzini, I thought. Again, he was very much the elder statesman of the side. Yep, they are younger. Yeah, they are younger. Reece when Reece made his debut, he was 16 and 198 days. Domingos Quina was 16 and 259 days. I believe Ollie is literally just about to turn. I think he turns 17 next month. So yeah, he's about 16 and 100 and 330 days or something like that. But good question though. Nice one. 7, 8, 7, 7, 7, 7 from Neil. Happy Emirates is Mr. Happy Emirates. 7, solid, helped out Coventry. Okay, 7. Still gives the ball away too much from Joe. But I think he was the only one he was really trying to push people forward from an attacking perspective. But yeah, not too shabby. Rusty B also gave him a 7. I thought it was a good game. Probably his best game for a long time, Manu, I think, to be honest. In all honesty, let's move on. Let's talk about Connor Coventry. Obviously, I thought again a very good performance from Connor. I thought he played well. He allowed the rest of the midfield to attack, and he sort of was more like a defensive blocker. And was a really nice base for them to build on. I thought he played really well. Did show his sort of range of passing sometimes, but he was just relatively quite composed, keeping it simple. Another good display for him in this competition. He's thriving when he gets a chance in this competition. But I thought he had a good game. Again, it was good to see. 7, 7, 8, 7, 7, 7 plus. I like him. CC Junior did his job. 7, 7, 7 to Coventry. Coventry a good 7. What did I give him? Did I give him a 6? No, I gave him a 7. Good. I gave him a 7 as well. Right, let's move on and talk about Flynn. Obviously, again, a surprising name in the starting lineup. Thinking, obviously, he's had a lot of first team like Premier League football recently, and so yeah. To me, that suggests that Paqueta is back for the Palace game, because otherwise, again, they wouldn't have risked him. And similarly, probably wouldn't have risked Fornals, really. But he was playing quite a fluid role. I think him and Lanzini were taking roles, sort of positioning in terms of who partnered Coventry in that sort of defensive side, and then sort of taking it back and forward. Quite good. Came close to a goal in the first half with, was it Fornals' cross, and he latched onto it, forced to save from their goalkeeper. Moved the ball well, great touches, nice little 1-2s, nice little through balls. Again, very, very strong game. He was among those who were taken off and we were 3-0 up, but I thought he had a very, very good game. What we got here? We got Fred was at a phone call. Next time, put it on silent, Fred. Put it on Do Not Disturb until about 1:15. 8 and 7 for Lanzini. A 9 man a match from Troche. 7, 9 excellent for Mandy. 8 for Martel. Down should have scored indeed. Man a match for Ralph. 8. Flynn 8. Errol is looking like a good purchase. Downs was everywhere. Great game. Passing and movement. Plus he tackles. Does it all and looked really better. And looked better at Cam. Yeah. First half 9. Second half slightly off. 7. Overall 8. Simon, good afternoon to you. Flynn, aka White Chocolate, Silky Smooth. 8 for Mini Deck. Well, he's only about a week later. He's only about 2 weeks younger than Deck. Mini Noble. The Noblerone. I'm going to call him the Noblerone. 7. Fred and for Coventry and Downs. Rusty B gave him a 7. 8 if he scored, I think. Maybe he took him off to possibly use Sunday. Possibly, maybe. I don't know. But you wouldn't have risked him at all. I wouldn't. Anyway, let's talk about Fornals. First half looked the most likely to score. Got a couple of half chances. I think Ollie teed him one up, and the second one he latched onto a sort of rebound from Divan, but no luck. And then he took his opening goal very well, although we knew it was offside. Got a second as well, made the most of it with a spill cross. Twice the same game. I think it's only the second time he scored twice in a West Ham shirt in a single game. But like he enjoyed himself. It was shots, creating them. He looked promising throughout. He looked buzzy. Now, the story goes that actually Moyes, in his post-match press conference, he talks about Fornals, and he offered him the chance to stay at home, but he actually wanted to play, and he wanted game time. He offered him the chance to stay at home and not travel, so he actually travelled. So, I might even... No, I'm going to give Ollie the man of the match, because I think he deserves it. But I was thinking maybe even giving him my man of the match because of that late piece of news I found out. But that was really interesting. What we got here? 8 Fornals magic. 9 just needs the others to kick the ball as well. Indeed. 8 9 10 8 best game in a long time in that 10 role. That's me. He's playing in the right role. 8 9 for El Bolin. 8 9 needed that. He did indeed. I gave him an 8. I thought it was a very exceptional game for Mr. El Cockney. let's talk about Divin, another fantastic, academy player. Great story. Check it out on the WestHamNetwork.com, our new website. Nice article there from Jim. Nice article there from Jim about Divin's, about him as a player, but also, he's a local boy. Silverton, went to St Boniterras as well in terms of his school. Quite a famous West Ham school. Started his life as a left back, a bit like Antonio, and decided he liked scoring goals. So there we go. Fair play to him. But yeah, lovely to see. And I think everyone was so happy for him to see him. I know his goal has been given as an own goal, but it's we know. What we got here for Pabs was 9. Man of the match, brought the young into the game, and that first shot was one over a shot. He offered Lanzini to stay home, but he also went to play. Indeed, you're totally right. 7 for Divin. 8. He loved the battle and enjoyed himself. 7 looks a bit Antonio-ish, particularly. It's a bit early, but he liked to get it about a bit. But he's got a bit of movement about him. The boy's been scoring goals. The boy's been playing up front since he was 12. And as I said, he started his career as a left back when he was 8, and then went up front and liked scoring goals and stayed up there, which I think is brilliant. 8, 6. I know it's harsh, but he should have scored from all his lovely crosses. 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. Only can get better, I'm sure. Lovely debut in the first game. Scoring any debut's not bad, in it. Asked lots of Tony Cottee and Freddie Sears and people like that. 7. He wasn't robbed because it was going wide. 7 from Neil. Looks like he's a very good player for the future. Antonio without the extra 2 stone. Long career at 8. Indeed. I think he's played England 18, 17, 16, 15, 16, 17 and 18 as well as playing in the under 23s as well, and scoring. I think he scored the last goal game last season. We beat Derby 5-0 at London Stadium. If anyone went to that game, I remember that game. Russie B also Russie B gave him a 7. There we go. Gave it away. I gave him a 7. In terms of the subs, I'm not going to go through them all like individually, but we had obviously 5 subs we brought on. Let me just Mrs. Budden. So obviously we brought on the likes of Ashby came on. His first senior appearance since August. Good half hour, attacked well, good defending. I thought he played some of his passes were lovely. Freddie Potts came on as well, 30 minutes in the middle of midfield. Thought he did well, showed good speed, good passing, great ball at the end, which led to a really good chance. Forson came on. I like Forson; he's a good player. He's a little whippet. Came on. Was quite unlucky actually when it was a cross and he tried to get the back post but fouled, just missed it. Swire came on, 2 more debuts. Obviously Swire made his debut with 15 minutes to go, and also Caelan Casey came on as well. So he's now made, Mr. Moyes has given academy graduate debuts to 16 players during his time at West Ham. That ain't bad, is it? That ain't bad. Always smart. Needs more game times. Yeah, he got stuck in. Good to see 3 foot. Yeah, getting some minutes. I love Forson. In fact, he's so small. I think he's brilliant. We used to play. There used to be a lad. I think he went to Orient called Dan Kemp. He was a little guy as well, but not as little as Forson. I don't think. All subs to their job indeed. I noticed Casey in the youth. I really like him. Probably only got a few more minutes. All subs done well. Yeah, I mean, you can't really judge them as well. I don't think with half an hour or so to go. Did you see Colton Cole after the game? The proud dad certainly did, Michael. And as I said, that's another. I think we're getting up to 100 and actually in terms of counts, I think we're on about 986, 987 debutants for West Ham in our history, and I think in total, it's about 1,250 or something ridiculous like that. Equa looks like it's ready. Shame we couldn't play. The trouble is we had, we've got people like Pierre Equa, we've got Okaflex, we've got Dan Chesters, we've got Mipu Adebeku, and they're all out on loan as well, aren't they? So is what it is, isn't it? And don't forget, we couldn't play the likes of Marshall and people like that who are tearing up the under-18s. So it's really good. It's really good to see. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, we've got plenty of stuff coming back. Go and watch the Playing Away with Supporters Club. It's really good fun, really good. Just it's about 3 minutes, but just gives you a montage and a feel of how it was in Budapest. Also, we'll have Irish Tommy tonight. Late show with Irish Tommy, talking about West Ham's European cruise, and the fact that we've cruised into that cruise. It was so easy as well. Not easy, but 6 wins out of 6 win. And we'll have the Hammers headlines will be the press conference tonight, I believe. So keep an eye out for that. We'll also have Holly's show as well, tweet all about it. We'll have Stat Attack for the Palace game. We'll have the watch along. We'll have match day mornings from the Palace game. We'll have all your starting 11s. You can start now. Go on the community tab now and select who you think is going to be playing against in the game against Crystal Palace. Also, anyone who's probably Pacific Asia area, anyone who's keeping an eye out on the rugby and the Women's Rugby World Cup. Poppy is in the squad for the semi-final against Canada tomorrow morning, 3:30 UK time GMT in the morning against Canada. Obviously big West Ham fan, we've had her on the channel, and so obviously we wish her all the best of luck in that as she tries to help get the England team into the World Cup final. Fair play to her. And that's it, peeps. So take care. Do you know why those sponsors on the shirt? I think it's a betting thing in terms of Budapest, in terms of Romania, in terms of sports sponsorship. Happens a few times in the European games, particularly based on. It could happen here, isn't it? In terms of betting companies appearing on the fronts of shirts and stuff. Anyway. So, take care, everyone. Stay safe, stay warm, stay healthy, stay dry, and stay in touch with the West Ham Network. Don't forget, we've literally just launched our website. We've just launched our website, which will have links to all the West Ham, all the interviews we've had, all the 100 or so interviews with ex-players and celebrities and people like that. We've got all sort of the daily content goes up on there as well as articles and all the news. Really, really easy to navigate. WestHamNetwork.com. It does what it says in the tin. Check it out. Let us know what you think. We'll have Big Jim. Ant Staddy's writing for him. We've got Luke, Anton. Anton loves it. He's like writing so many articles, ridiculous. We'll have Alf on there. We have loads of guys on there writing articles. And if you want to write articles, let us know as well. Email us at West Ham Network or gmail.com, and we can see if we can help. And that's it. Take care and stay safe, stay warm, and I will see you guys very, 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 very soon, my friends. Bye bye.
It's like a family tree.